The gates didn't rattle like someone testing strength. They rattled like something impatient. A deep, heavy clang echoed through the mansion's bones. The vehicles outside were lined like a funeral procession. Black SUVs, tinted windows, engines idling like restrained animals, just presence. "Do we call the police?" one guard asked. Malik didn't answer. His eyes flicked to Adrian, waiting for a command that would decide everything. Adrian Vale stood in the study, facing Alara, Evelyn, whatever she truly was. "Evelyn," Adrian repeated slowly. "I know what you buried," she said. Adrian's voice hardened. "Evelyn died." Alara whispered back, "People die all the time in your world. Some die on paper, some die in headlines, some die in silence. If you're her, prove it." Alara reached up and pulled out a pendant, a small, burned piece of metal shaped like a teardrop. Adrian's breath caught. "You gave it to her the night before the fire." Adrian's hand twitched. "How do you have that?" "Because," she said, "Evelyn walked out of that fire." Adrian's voice came out low. "Lock down the mansion." Malik hesitated. "The guests, sir? They're already trapped," Adrian said. "What's in the vault?" Malik demanded. Alara looked at him, calm. "Something alive," she said. Adrian spoke. "A containment room for something that shouldn't exist." "They're calling it an asset." Alara murmured, "It's not a monster to them, it's property." Malik felt his skin crawl. "What do you mean it remembers you?" Alara's gaze dropped. "Because," she whispered, "it was made from me." A deep structural thud shook the mansion from below. The countdown had begun. "Take me to the vault," Adrian said. Alara's smile looked like doom. The night after Valentine's Day was no longer a party. It was a countdown. At exactly 2:07 a.m., the city was still pretending to sleep. The skyline glittered like a necklace on a dark throat. Traffic lights blinked to nobody. And on the highest hill above everything, where the air smells cleaner and silence costs more, one mansion kept its lights on. Not all the lights, just one. A single window, third floor, far right. Soft gold, like a heartbeat that refused to slow down. From the street, the place looked like a museum. Perfect symmetry, iron gates. The people who built it didn't buy peace, they bought privacy. And privacy has a sound. It's the sound of a door locking twice. Inside, the hallway was still dressed for romance. Rose petals scattered like a warning. 2 champagne flutes stood on a marble table, still holding the last warm breath of bubbles. Someone had left in a hurry. The owner, a billionaire named Adrian Vale. Old money turned newer, sharper, colder. A storm that never hits you directly, but makes you check your windows. Adrian's mansion had a rule. Valentine's night was for appearances. The night after was for truths. In the private elevator behind the library, Security Chief Malik tapped a code. The elevator dropped like a secret being swallowed. The doors opened to a corridor that smelled like metal. No paintings, no romance, only cameras and keypads. Malik was afraid of what Adrian might do when the petals dried. At the end of the corridor was the vault. Not because it held diamonds, because it held decisions. Inside, Adrian Vale stood in a white shirt, sleeves rolled up. His tie lay like a discarded rope. Even his exhaustion had style. He was staring at a wall of screens. "Play it again." Malik hesitated. "Sir, you've watched it 12 times." Adrian's jaw tightened. 13. The screen started. Valentine's night. 11:46 p.m., the ballroom. Adrian stood with a woman at his side, beautiful, polished. Her name was Alara. She lifted her glass, smiled, said something that made him laugh, just once, short and strange. 1:58 a.m., the guest wing. Alara, alone, walking barefoot on the cold floor. She touched a specific book. The wall moved, and she stepped into the private elevator. The screen froze on her face. "That elevator requires 5 codes," Adrian finished, "and a fingerprint." Adrian's eyes weren't angry. They were calculating grief. "Tell me how she got in." No tampering, Malik said. Adrian read the card and laughed without humor. It says she loves me, in the handwriting of someone who learned love as a tool. Do you want us to find her? I already did. Adrian pressed a button, a live feed, a woman sitting with perfect posture, Alara, in the one place no guest has ever seen, because she wanted to be. Alara spoke, clear as a confession. Adrian, it was never about love, it was about distraction, from what you're hiding under your own floor. Recognition hit him. This wasn't a burglary. Adrian reached for his phone. Lock the gates and cut the power. There are no guests anymore. There are only witnesses. The lights began to shut off, like a giant falling into darkness. Alara whispered one last line, almost lovingly, "Happy After-Valentines, Adrian." Project Mirror continues. The mansion didn't go dark like a normal house. It went dark like a country switching to wartime. First the ballroom, then the guest wing. Emergency lights snapped on, thin red lines along the floor. Above ground, the world dimmed for the elite guests. Nobody laughed, because the staff didn't panic. The staff moved, doors were closed softly, hallways were redirected, phones were gently taken, smiles stayed on faces like masks glued on. In the center of it all, Adrian Vale walked through his home like a man touring a crime scene. He looked at exits. He looked at corners. Malik whispered, "Sir, if she accessed the vault elevator, the code is compromised." Adrian replied, "It means I've been compromised." They reached the study, a place so quiet it made noise feel disrespectful. On the desk sat a weapon disguised as a memory. Adrian stared at the picture of Alara, then turned it face down. "Bring her up," he said. "I'm done hiding." The elevator hummed, the doors opened like a mouth speaking a truth nobody wanted to hear. Alara stepped out, flawless. For a moment, neither spoke. A billionaire and a woman who broke into his deepest secret without a single lock. "You look tired," she said. "You look like you slept well. In my vault." Alara smiled. "It's quiet down there. Quiet is rare in your world." "Who sent you?" he demanded. Alara's smile didn't fade. "This was never romance, Adrian. This was access." The words hit like a slap. "Access to what?" he asked. Alara whispered, "The room you built after the fire." The sentence froze the air. The fire wasn't public. Adrian had paid for funerals. He had cried on camera. And then he built a vault like a coffin for a secret that refused to die. Alara placed a silver flash drive on the desk. "This," she said, "is the footage you deleted. The night of the fire, the real night." Malik had never seen his boss afraid, but right now, Adrian Vale looked haunted. "What footage?" he whispered. "The footage shows who walked out," Alara said. Adrian's jaw tightened. "Nobody walked out." Alara sharpened her smile. "You're lying." "Someone walked out, and you've been feeding them ever since." Alara looked at Malik. "These mansions are fortresses built to hide secrets." "What do you want?" Adrian asked, slow and lethal. Alara straightened. "I want you to unlock the vault, not for me, for them." "Never," Adrian snapped. Alara's tone cooled. "Then by morning the world will know why you really don't celebrate Valentine's Day." "You came as my guest," Adrian said. "And now you threaten to destroy me." Alara whispered, "I'm offering a chance to survive what's coming." "What's coming?" he asked. Alara pointed. "They're already here." Malik's radio crackled suddenly, static, then a trembling voice. "Blacked out vehicles." This was an invasion scheduled perfectly for the night after Valentine's Day. Malik whispered, "Sir, what do we do? Tell me who you are." Ilara's lips parted. "Evelyn," the name of the woman who died in the fire, and outside, the gates began to shake. No music, no hum, just the soft mechanical breath of cables pulling them into the earth. Adrian stood perfectly still, touching the steel wall. This was real. Malik stood behind him with the rigid posture of a man who'd trained for bullets, not for buried truths. Alara stood in front, calm, leading them through the ruins of a secret. At level B3, the air changed. colder, sterile. Adrian finally spoke, his voice low. You said it was made from you. Alara didn't turn, but I was the first. Alara didn't turn. Not just me, she whispered, but I was the first. The corridor stretched ahead, red security lights tracking them like eyes. Adrian walked like he knew every inch. They reached the vault door, a thick slab of reinforced steel with a biometric panel and a wheel lock. Malik stared. Sir, how long has this been here? Alara answered, since the morning after the fire. Adrian pressed his palm to the scanner. Red, denied. The panel flashed, access overridden. Malik's heart jumped. Alara whispered, they're already inside your system. They've been inside for a long time, Alara whispered. Adrian's jaw clenched. Above them, the fortress was being swallowed. Malik's radio crackled with the sound of a breach at the gate. Chief, they've breached the outer gate. Above them, the mansion, his fortress, was being swallowed. Guests herded like livestock, staff silenced. The gates had failed. A deep sound vibrated through the corridor. A slow, heavy scrape from behind the door. Dust shakes from the sterile ceiling. Malik raised his weapon. Adrian didn't move. He stared at the vault, his face a mask of buried regret. I told the world you died, Adrian said rawly. Alara's whisper came back like smoke. A mistake, a miracle, a weapon. Living proof that your world isn't built on love. Adrian's phone buzzed. No signal should reach down here. One message, unknown number, 1 minute. Here, beneath the marble and roses, a door held back something that didn't care about money. Then, from behind the steel, came a sound, a faint, distorted imitation of Adrian's own voice. Calm? Malik's blood turned to ice. Alara whispered, it learned from you. You do the first unselfish thing of your life, Alara said. Destroy your own mansion. Adrian froze. That would kill everyone. Yes, she replied, and it would save millions. Adrian held the remote at his side. I installed it the day I built this place, he said. Just in case you ever grew a conscience, Alara added. Hands up, someone shouted. Adrian's thumb pressed down. A soft click. The lights went out. In the black, a voice, not his, whispered, Open, please. Did he destroy the house? Or did it open first? This is Project Mirror.